So, welcome everyone to grade 2 theory. We all did a really good job with grade 1 theory last term, and it's time to move on. So, yeah, let's get started. So, does everyone have their grade 2 textbook? It should probably look like this. Could everyone open the camera? Thank you, Hazel. Okay. So I hope everyone has like their grade 2 textbook. So today we'll just go on lesson 1. Okay. Okay. So lesson 1, where I'm going to introduce you to more major scales. So in grade 1 we learned C major, G major, and F major. Who can tell me the key signature of those scales? Hamish? Okay. Hazel?
F.
Yep, so G major does have F sharp, and F major has 1 flat. Which one is it?
B flat.
B flat. Yep. So so we already know C major, no sharps, no flats. G major has 1 sharp, F sharp, and F major has 1 flat, B flat. And we already know the pattern of tones and semitones in which major scales are built on. Let's just chant it again. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Okay, so we're going to look at C major again, except this time we're going to annotate it in terms of tetrachords. A tetrachord, it dictates, well, it covers the first 4 notes of a scale and the last 4 notes of a scale. So in a scale written for 1 octave, you would have 2 tetrachords. 1, 2. So the one that's lower in pitch is obviously called the lower tetrachord. The one that's higher in pitch is obviously called the upper tetrachord. No surprises there. And so the scale is split into 2 tetrachords. The first tetrachord contains, well, for C major, the lower tetrachord contains C, D, E, F. The upper tetrachord contains G, A, B, C. Now here's a really neat part. If you take the upper tetrachord here, which is G, A, B, C, you can build up from it to make G major. So here, I'll show it to you. So here is C major. Here are the 2 tetrachords. And now I take the upper tetrachord, G, A, B, C, and I can build it into G major. Pretty neat, isn't it? And as you can see, if I take the lower tetrachord of C major, I can build down from it to make F major. So I'll build down. So these are the notes of the lower tetrachord of C major. And I build down. So that's a little low. I should probably move it up the octave. Never mind. Okay. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is that if you know how to if you know how to separate your scales into two tetrachords, you can keep continuously building new scales out of the next tetrachord. Okay, so what if we were to build another scale from the upper tetrachord of G major? So this one here. So it would look like, where's my, there we go. So it would look something like this. Okay, so some of you might be wondering, why is there a sharp on C? It's because I have to sharp the C, otherwise it wouldn't satisfy the tone semitone pattern. So suppose that C sharp wasn't there, right? Then that would be a tone, and that would, this would be a semitone. We don't want that. We want tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And the sharp on C is what allows the tone here and the semitone here. So that means D major, which starts on D, has a key signature of F sharp as well as C sharp. Okay, and what if I kept building up from that? Okay, I'll move everything down an octave. And okay, here's D major. And who can tell me how you should separate this into tetrachords? Eva?
The first four notes is the lower tetrachord.
Yes, and then
that's the upper tetrachord.
Yeah, good. So I take the upper tetrachord, which is A, B, C sharp, D, and then I'll move it down an octave. So A, B, C sharp, D. If I keep building up, I need turn. So I need a turn here, a turn here, a semitone. So far it's good. And then I need a turn. So that means, I'll just mark it out. Then I need a turn, another turn, and a semitone. So what would it look like? We need a turn here. We need another turn here, but E to F is only a semitone. So that means we have to sharp F once again, F, and we need a tone from F sharp. It can't be G because F sharp and G is only a tone. So we have to sharp G as well. And finally, we go back to A. So this scale has 3 sharps and it commences on A. And so the key signature for this, it would be 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Okay? So what's important for me right now is also that you remember the order in which the sharps come in. So the sharps, they cycle around in fifths. And a useful acronym I have to remember like this cycle of fifths is, I'll type in the chat for useful reference. So as we can see, the first couple for A major has 3 sharps. The order is F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So let's make that into an acronym. Let's make that into, what's the name? Not an acronym. A mnemonic. So I prefer fat cat goes dark after eating beetroot. What this essentially tells you, so this is the order in which the sharps come in. So if you had some kind of crazy crazy scale, like C sharp major, for example, I'll just tell you, it has 7 sharps. So the order in which the sharps come in will be F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and then B sharp. So that's the order in which you have to put its key signature. So these are what key signatures look like, right? As you can see, that they follow a very specific pattern. So for this is G major, is only F sharp. D major has F sharp and C sharp. As you can see, the C sharp like comes after the F sharp on the stave. Then A major here, it has F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. It's a very specific pattern. Like firstly, the G sharp, it goes up instead of down, like from the C sharp. Yeah, it's a very specific pattern and it's not entirely random, as you'll find out. So, yep, remember the specific order of sharps. Okay, then what else? Oh yeah, we should also talk about sorry, what's that doing here? We should also talk about scale degrees, probably. So yeah, so we know how to build our scale. We know the key signature of each, and yeah. And so now I want you to like exercise writing the scale. So take out your stave paper, please. And I'll write the task on the whiteboard. So I want you to write. So the new scales we're learning this week are D major and A major. So wait, don't start yet. I'm gonna give you some specific requirements. So use a key signature, mark the semitones, and scale degrees. And in the bass clef, please. And use minims. I'll just add that. Is anyone finished? Okay, okay. So Hamish, your bass key signature is it's not quite right. So for D major, the key signature is not quite right. Remember, D major has F sharp and C sharp. I just showed you where to put those. So yeah. Abigail, could I get a look at that again?
I need to fix it.
Okay. Okay. I want to just touch on key. I want to just touch on like how the key signature like looks for the scales again. So what am I doing? Yeah. Wait a second. So well, for key signatures, you never go above the stave or below the stave. You never use ledger lines for a key signature. So basically, here's what the key signatures. Yeah. So that's for A major. As you can see, none of them go above the stave or below the stave. None of like the sharps, they use ledger lines. They're all put in a very specific pattern on the stave. So that's A major, and this is D major. So take a good look at this. And that. Okay. Um, if that looks good. Um, Abigail, that's not quite right. For D major, I don't think you wrote the right notes. Hazel, Hazel, you wrote treble notes in bass clef. I think that's what happened. So yep, Abigail, your D major looks a lot better. Check the key signature for A major. So remember what I said? The G sharp, it goes up, not down. Okay, Hazel, that's a lot better. I think everyone's finished, so I'll move on. Okay, so let me just share my. There we go. We can move on to lesson 2. So more about tonic triads, and we're going to start writing scales over 2 octaves. So yeah. So who can remember what a tonic triad is from grade 1? Anyone? Hamish, do you remember what a tonic triad is from grade 1? Abigail, you're muted.
The first, third, and fifth note of a scale.
Very good. Okay, so the tonic triad. So like we take C major here, right? Here's C major, and you can see the very bottom note is C, which is a tonic, the first note of the scale. And then We have an E, which is the third note of C major, and a G, which is the fifth note of C major. So that's the essentials of a tonic triad. And of course, we could use a key signature for tonic triads. We've already learned that as well. Like, for example, here's a treble clef. This is very badly drawn. We have the key signature of G major, and the tonic triad will be G, B, D. Like we've already learned this all for grade 1. So here's a tonic triad of D major using a key signature. So you would see that, like, say we removed the key signature, right? So say that wasn't there. So then that would be D minor, because the F sharp for the F sharp here has turned into an F natural, and that automatically makes it the tonic triad of D minor. So which is not what we want, and I doubt you guys know what D minor is. So that means if we were to remove the key signature, we would need to manually put a sharp on this note. I remember accidentals, they go before the note, so then it would look something like that. Okay, so and here is a tonic triad of A major. So it would have a key signature of F sharp. Someone tell me. F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. I'll just continue it myself. Yep. But like, say the key signature wasn't there, as you can see, we need a sharp for C, because the key signature has F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. If it wasn't there, then it would turn into a minor tonic triad. So you can write tonic triads at different pitches in both the treble and the bass. I think that's pretty easily understood. So we're very ahead of time today. So I'll just get you to write I'll get you to write the tonic triad of D major and A major using a key signature. Go. In the bass, actually, in the bass. Abigail, you've accidentally written everything in the treble, even though you put bass clef. Hazel, there's a problem with your key signatures. Okay, that's a little better, but still not quite right. I think you're mistaking it for treble clef, Hazel. Okay, Abigail, remember the G sharp for A major, it has to go up, not down from C sharp. Hazel, the key signature for D major is still not quite right. The key signature for D major is F sharp and C sharp. I'll let you figure out where to put those. Yep, Abigail, that's pretty good, I think. Okay, Hazel, remember the F sharp comes before the C sharp because that's just the way sharps go, unfortunately. Eva and Hamish, are you guys finished? Okay, Hazel, very good. Um, okay, so Eva, your A major is perfect, but like you forgot a couple of things for D major. Firstly, you need to write the key signature, and I don't think the notes are quite right either. Think about like a D major scale that you just wrote. Take the first, third, and fifth notes from that and form them into a triad. Eva, awesome. Abigail, is that a parrot? Hamish, are you finished? I think I'll move on. Okay, so yeah, I also want to introduce you to scales in two octaves. Basically, you have to write. It's not really that different from writing a scale one octave. Just repeat it again, and you've got two octaves. Not that hard. Well, I don't think it's that hard anyway. So yeah, I'll just get you to write So at the moment, I really want you guys to get used to D major and A major. So can you write D major into, you know what? Where's my whiteboard? Okay, basically, take what you did before, like that task, and then extend it out an octave. Or extend it down an octave if you've like done something, if you don't want to go like high, 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 high. Or if you want, you can use a grand stave. The grand stave is like what you see in piano. You have like a treble, you have a treble clef, and then a bass clef down below. Yeah, so that's a little high. Okay. I'll just check those notes are right. It's a little high, isn't it? Yeah, that looks Hazel, that looks a lot better. Like, yeah. Um, you've included one extra note in there somewhere. That's your hint. Try counting up the number of notes you have. You should have 15 notes in there. If there's one extra or one less, you've done something wrong. Yes, there we go. Hazel, that's very good. Now try A major. Good, Eva. Have you remembered to include a key signature? Or accidentals if you want. You can use accidentals if that appeals. Um, Eva, I know that looks a little cramped, but like it's pretty good. Now try A major. Um, Hazel, you put an extra notes in there somewhere again. Okay, big tip for you guys. If you're writing a scale over two octaves, I know it can be sometimes hard to like um figure out your start and end note, but you should always start and end on a tonic, obviously, and try count the notes. If you have 15, you've done it right. If there's more or less than 15, you've done something wrong. Hazel, very good. You can just take a break if you want. Like, we still have 5 minutes left. Or if you have any questions you want to ask me about, like, music or anything, actually, I'm happy to answer. Abigail, not gonna lie, that is very messy, but it's done correctly. I can't complain. If let me just check. You know, I am gonna complain that your stems are all missing. Okay, wait a second. Okay, that's good. Hamish, are you done? Hamish, you there? Okay. Uh, awesome. Okay, we still have 3 minutes left. Does anyone want to like say something, ask something, do something? You know what, Abigail, why don't you introduce us to your parrot, lorikeet, bird, whatever that is? Like, since it's there already, why don't you introduce her? Him? I don't even know.
Ah, it is not a parrot.
Okay, lorikeet.
Cockatiel.
Oh, okay. I kind of guessed that.
And it's a girl.
Oh, okay. Does anyone else have any pets they want to bring along? Or would you rather me just end the lesson right here? I'm feeling lonely.
I have a rabbit.
Oh, cool. You know, Hamish, I've always wondered why your profile pic is a cat wearing a mask. Is that your cat?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool, a rabbit. Abigail has a lot of pets. You know, like my like voice teacher, he has 3 cats, 2 dogs, a whole pond of fish, 6 birds, and 3 rabbits. Like, it's a wonder that they all get along. uh you know what? Class dismissed. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.